I almost didn't attend the gathering that night. My boss had been insistent, claiming it was a golden chance to network, but the idea of sipping a mediocre cocktail while pretending to care about corporate jargon held no allure. It was my wife, Emily, who gently pushed me toward the door. "You could use some mingling," she said, her voice tinged with a cool distance, as if she welcomed the excuse to stay behind. We'd been together for 8 years, navigating our share of imperfections, always finding a way to patch things up after disagreements. Lately, though, something had shifted. Her smiles were fleeting, her laughter rare. Our conversations had become polite, surface-level exchanges. I attributed it to the wear of routine life, but as I entered the bustling, crowded venue alone, a profound sense of solitude weighed on me, deeper than I'd anticipated. The event unfolded in a lavish downtown hotel ballroom, where dim lighting clashed with overly loud music, and everyone wore a veneer of artificial enthusiasm. I grabbed a drink and leaned against a high table in a secluded corner, half listening to the hum of nearby chatter. Then, Emily's name pierced the din. At first, I thought I'd misheard, but it came again unmistakable. My head turned reflexively. 2 men from another department stood close by, their laughter sharp and amplified by liquor. "Hard to believe she's married," one of them slurred. "You'd never know it from how she acts when her husband's not around." The other grinned slyly. "Oh, Emily's a free spirit. She has a way of making you forget she's taken." My stomach lurched, as if the ground had vanished beneath me. Her name sounded alien, distorted. I stood rigid, pretending to check my phone, but their words burned into me. "She's got that fire," the first continued, "like she knows every guy in the room is watching. Poor sap she's married to, clueless." My hand clenched my glass, so tightly I feared it might break. They didn't notice me, just another anonymous figure in the crowd. I didn't confront them or cause a stir. Instead, I remained rooted, memories of Emily flooding my mind, her morning chuckles, her late-night work texts, the faint trace of her perfume lingering on the couch cushions after evenings out with friends. When I finally left the ballroom, I didn't drive home right away. I sat in my car in the parking lot, engine off, hands trembling on the steering wheel. Their words replayed relentlessly, slicing through my thoughts. No, Emily wouldn't betray me. She wasn't perfect, but she was loyal. She had to be. Yet, when I stepped into our house later, it felt hollow, colder. Emily was in bed, either asleep or feigning it. I lingered in the doorway, studying her face bathed in the soft glow of the bedside lamp, peaceful, almost angelic. That calm cut deeper than anything else. The next morning, she was her usual self, asking about the event with a quick kiss on my cheek, passing me a steaming coffee mug. I wanted to demand answers, to ask, "Who are you when I'm not here?" But the word stuck in my throat, heavy and immobile. "It was fine," I mumbled instead. Over the following days, I became a stranger in my own home, scrutinizing her every move, every phrase. Her phone, always face down on the kitchen counter, seemed to taunt me. Each laugh during her phone calls tightened the knot in my chest. Every late return home eroded my composure. By week's end, the doubt was unbearable. I needed certainty. So, when she announced on Friday that she was meeting her friend Clara for drinks, I decided to trail her. Not too closely, just enough to see her true destination. Her car pulled into a restaurant across town, not the one she'd named. She stepped out, smoothed her hair in the side mirror, and vanished inside. After 10 minutes, I followed. What I saw next obliterated any lingering hope, no matter how much I thought I prepared myself. The restaurant was cozy, softly lit, a haven for whispered secrets and stolen glances. I lingered near the entrance, pretending to search for someone as my eyes adjusted to the dimness. Then I saw her, Emily, at a corner table, her back to me. I'd recognize that dress anywhere, the one she wore for our last anniversary. Across from her sat a man I didn't know, his smile warm with familiarity, perhaps something deeper. She laughed softly, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, a nervous habit from our early days together. For a long moment, I was paralyzed. Part of me wanted to charge over, demand explanations, make a scene, but a quieter instinct restrained me. Instead, I took a seat at a far table, ordered a glass of water, and observed. I tried to convince myself it was innocent, a colleague, a friend I hadn't met, but when his hand reached across the table to touch hers, and she didn't pull away, the facade crumbled. I didn't stay long. I slipped out before they could notice me, each step heavier than the last. The night air hit me like a shock. My heart didn't pound. It sank. The drive home felt endless, each mile unraveling a memory. Our tiny first apartment, spontaneous road trips, late-night talks about everything and nothing. All of it now felt stained. When she returned home later, she smiled as if nothing had changed. "You're still up?" she said, kicking off her shoes. "Clara and I got lost in the wine." I nodded, forcing a smile. "Sounds fun." She brushed a kiss across my cheek and headed to the bathroom. I stared at my reflection in the dark television screen, seeing a stranger who knew too much. Over the next few days, I tried to maintain the charade, but something inside me had broken. It wasn't fiery anger. It was colder, quieter, like a home abandoned after a blaze. So I began searching, not for vengeance, but for clarity. I checked our bank accounts, her transactions. It didn't take long to uncover the inconsistencies. Cash withdrawals that didn't make sense, hotel receipts hidden in her email. Proof. Cold, irrefutable proof. The following Saturday, I made her coffee as usual. She came downstairs in her robe, hair messy, offering a faint smile. "You're up early," she remarked. I slid an envelope across the table. "This arrived for you," I said. She opened it, her face shifting from curiosity to horror as she saw the printed photos inside. "Emily," I said, my voice steady but unfamiliar. "I know." Silence stretched between us, thick and oppressive. She whispered, "It's not what it seems." "Then explain it." I replied, my tone alien to me. She began to speak, then faltered, tears welling in her eyes. But I'd seen too much for tears to move me. "I loved you," I said. "Maybe I still do, but the woman I loved isn't this." She reached for me, but I stepped back. "Don't," I said. "You made your choice. You just didn't think to tell me." That night, I packed a bag. She cried, begged me to stay, promised to fix everything, but I was done bearing the burden alone. Before I left, I paused in the doorway, the same spot where I'd watched her sleep after that event. "It's odd," I said softly. "I almost skipped that gathering. If I had, I might still be here, pretending we're okay. So thank you, I guess." She said nothing. I closed the door behind me, and for the first time in months, the air felt lighter, unburdened. They say you can't pinpoint the moment a marriage dies, but I could. It wasn't seeing her in that restaurant or hearing her lie to my face. It was a moment I realized I didn't need the truth to leave. I just needed peace. And that night, as I drove into the quiet darkness, I found it.